Is
Eric
Eric a voting member?
I don't think so. Hang on.
Your dad swore me into something when I first took this position, and I
Okay.
still was.
We are live, just so you know. We are live.
There's that just in case.
Okay, I think he is because he's voted on things before.
Sorry, I'm getting out of your way.
So that's my opinion, but I'm not. You're the attorney.
I don't believe I saw your name on the resolution to confirm boards, but that doesn't
I know,
necessarily
sorry.
mean that you're not a voting member. Congratulations.
Yeah.
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 Welcome. Okay. Can you go ahead? Sure. Okay, so we know we're missing Kyle, Paula, and Tom for now. And then the three of us are here. And member, non-member, member Eric is here. So
The man that takes care of us.
yes,
actually.
that does all of the things. Thank goodness for you.
Thanks, Eric.
Do you have stuff you want to go over first, or do you want me to
I
go?
can go in whatever order you want.
Okay, hold on a second.
Were you
Yeah,
talking
go
about
ahead,
the
I'll just
housing,
go.
the housing thing too? No, that's the new one.
Which one?
What was it? Changing the square footage minimum on new homes. Were you in that one? No, that's
Nope,
okay.
but
We
I'm
have-
happy to talk about it.
It's just something, let's just start with that one because it's more something that we need to discuss because we weren't gonna do anything right now.
With what?
So it has been brought to Eric's attention from many people coming into the city that actually, I'll just let you take it over because I feel like you'll probably have better info.
Several people apply for permits. And one of the things that's happening repeatedly, most of them are in the middle of the process, they're changing their plans and they kind of retract from doing it. But
So these are building
yeah,
permits. we're
the
talking.
problem keeps arising that these people want to go and buy these Amish sheds that have a front porch on them that are like 12 foot wide, 40 foot in length. And they want to buy parcels of property in Attica and set them on there. So what we have now is we've got it established where as long as it's R1 and a 7,200 square foot lot and a 720 square foot structure, then it's approved. So we want to think about protecting, the residents by not having a bunch of 12-foot wide sheds stuck all over the city, because technically with the setbacks and everything, they can put in a 12-foot, by 48 foot or whatever and come up with the right math equation to have 720 square feet. So one thing we had looked at doing was changing the minimum width, putting a restriction on the minimum width. So say instead of letting somebody come in there and put something 8 foot wide by whatever length, put like a minimum requirement of 20 foot in width. And then to make up the square footage, you could run the house 40 foot if you need to or whatever, just to accommodate the 720 square feet. So it's.
Would you change the square footage at all? Was that something else you also discussed?
1,000 square foot would be something that would be more along what we feel would be an acceptable size of a home. And mind you.
Is that either or? So I'm sorry, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, we really need to, have a lot of conversation about it. That way we get everybody's perspective of what they think. I think without a doubt, you probably need to change something in there. That way we don't end up with a bunch of tiny houses all over Attica as far as the width of them.
Okay, so the question for you on that is, if it's 700, it has to be, right now it has to be 720 square feet minimum.
Correct. Yeah.
So if they put in a duplex, does this duplex each side have to be 720 or is it just 720 total?
Well, this is for R1, so this would just be for single
Okay,
family.
Okay, just for
Yes.
one, okay.
So, R2 conversations and R3, all that,
Come after,
would
yeah.
be something else. This is just, like I had the first one that came to me was down there on the South Perry Street block before, right next to where Ron Lockhart used to live. There was
Yes,
that lot that had a
yes.
slab on it.
Mhm,
Well, somebody had approached me and they wanted to, that was the very first one that I had ever encountered. And they asked me what could be set there. So I basically ran through what, all of our parameters were for it. And their question to me was, here out in my truck, I've got this brochure. So they bring this brochure and it's a place like around Rockville
mhm.
that builds these Amish cabins. And they had a decorative front porch. Didn't look, all that distractive, but in the same token, it was going to be a home that was 10 foot wide and 50 foot long. And it didn't come up with the square footage. So their next question was, well, what if I go 2 stories? Or what if I go longer with it? So they were basically wanting something to bring in prefab, and you kind of want to protect, people in neighborhoods
Yes.
of having,
Yes.
something that looks like a mobile
They
home
could
sitting
still
beside
have, like if you found an Amish builder, they could still have, let's say if you did the 20, but there was somebody that could still
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Right, and it would,
It
you're
needs
just,
to blend in with the aesthetics of the neighborhood.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It was just something to think about because
It's not
it's
necessary.
happened in the last year. It's probably happened at least 10 times.
And it's something that we need to address.
We
So
definitely.
it's
no,
not
we
necessarily
looked
the
into
fact that it's prefab, it's that it needs to fit the aesthetics again.
Yeah,
And I will say, when Larry approached me about it, he did say, we could allow for a variance.
Variance, yes.
Right. you
Because
can-
there are
Yes.
possible situations
There
which
could be
we have,
situations,
there-
yeah.
so we're not, again, it goes kind of what we talked about with like the storage container thing, where we're very willing to listen to ideas, or if you have some, I don't think anybody's wanting to say absolutely not. We're just saying, hey,
Yeah, I think,
let's have a conversation
I
type
think what
thing.
we're after, is basically minimum width on it. That way aesthetically it blends in with the,
Mhm.
With the
whatever
homes.
neighborhood you put it in. And then, that would be up to all parties to be on what they think about going from the 720 to the 1,000.
And the only thing with the 720 to the 1,000 is, I know that we have homes right now that are under that 1,000 square footage mark.
mine's right at 720.
Whose is?
Mine.
Yours is, yeah. So
And
it's,
it's little. There's
Yeah.
not, it's,
I want to say
I think the
mine,
1,000 would be nice.
yeah, I think ours
So-
was maybe, I think ours was either right at 1,000 when we used to live, or like 980 or something, So,
Yeah.
but right in that 980 mark too, I feel like that's a very,
Small.
no, that it's small, but that's a very, I feel like we have a lot of homes that are at
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Square
there's a
footage,
lot.
there's a lot
in
of-
that area.
About
especially-
the footprint of your national home.
Yes,
Yeah.
All
yeah.
over Attica. Yeah.
So it's just something we need to discuss. I know this isn't something that we're going to make any decisions on now. And I know Kyle will have questions about that for sure.
Well, we'll need to do it fairly soon though, just
Yes.
because they're getting asked these questions all the time.
It definitely keeps reoccurring.
Yeah, and it's gonna get more and more.
But we're not saying
Yes.
no. I just also want to say that just because we're saying this doesn't mean,
Right, it just
That-
means that we need to approach it
Yeah,
a little bit further,
Yes.
not that
Yeah, I
we're,
think there's gonna be situations that will come about that, yes, you may have to allow a variance
Variance.
for,
Mhm.
certain
people do a
things.
variance like for that, like let's just, for anything, let's say, do they
Oh,
have to
yeah.
do the same, do they have to go not notify the property owners around them again?
Yes.
All that, okay.
Like prime example, I don't know if you've ever been down there by the old triangle basketball court.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, super tiny lot.
Mhm.
Travis Lawson wanted to build a house there.
mm-hmm.
According to our ordinances, wouldn't fit, the lot
Oh, yeah.
was super, super small. So he wanted to build a.
That's that, the
Yeah.
two-story blue house?
Yep, he
Yeah,
wanted
okay.
to build a smaller house, make it 2-story, so he came to a variance hearing. Everybody passed it with flying colors, end result, good looking home,
Nice
did a
home,
good
yep,
job right on that lot, and I mean, it was in a poor area,
Mhm.
but it really upgraded that
yeah,
area, so
so it's,
there's places that,
Are appropriate.
The variance
Yes.
Yeah.
plays a
Yes,
huge
absolutely.
factor, and it allows somebody to still do something.
Do you guys want me to pull together some research about what other cities are?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think
Allowing
that would be a good thing.
that was my next question. If you knew of any that had that type of.
I would tell you, but I left my phone in my car. I believe so.
Oh, it's
I couldn't
okay.
tell you off the top. I was looking around. I was like, oh,
That's fine.
all
But
right,
hey,
well,
you can hopefully
Feel like you
you'll
have
be able to
handcuffs
leave
on,
before
don't
the
you?
next meeting.
Yeah.
it's like, can't do anything.
And if there's not a good conclusion for that, I mean, the one thing that you have to think about, you know, there's gonna be a lot of out-of-towners that are gonna wanna come here to the Badlands, and I mean, be perfect scenario for them, you know, you bring in an Amish cabin and you set it on an empty lot, you've never been a resident here, you're just looking for a place to crash on the weekends while you ride.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think it's going to approach a lot faster than what anybody anticipates, because most of the people that are from out of city or out of state that have called me about all these different things are people that come and visit, you know, basically the ATV park or something of that nature.
Okay, so let's just throw this out there. I'm just thinking, if we were able to get this changed or make a change, this obviously is we would talk about it. But I think that our next meeting would, Kyle's gonna want some input
Yes,
on it,
yeah,
so
you
for
want-
sure.
Yes,
And rightly so, because I get
because
that.
I think his plan with the trailer court, and we
Yes.
all know right now it's a trailer court, so in my opinion, no matter what you do, you're upgrading.
You're
that
upgrading,
area.
absolutely.
And
Well,
it's
and
gonna play a factor.
I think that-
probably
I think that would be a great one that would go by variance, and I feel like that,
absolutely.
I don't think,
Yep.
I can't speak for that board that would be doing that, but I think that would be such a good, like what you said, it's an upgrade. So, and it's case by case. It's
When
a
I was
case by
talking
case
to Larry
basis.
about it, he had also brought up another point also, you know, even, you know, in the variance process, this, that, and the other, he thought it would be a good idea if they had permanent foundations under, whether that's a slab or that way, if there was the square footage allowed, if somebody got a variance to put something in that's 12 foot, at least at minimum, it's attached to a slab foundation. I don't know if we have that in the verbiage of our ordinances. Currently, there's nothing that I've found when I've been scanning through it, but
not to my knowledge, no.
So with some type of foundation.
yeah, whether it be a slab, I know there's advantages to it not having a foundation, and I 100% get that, but it may be something that you kind of have different areas.
Okay, so if it doesn't have a foundation, that though is not considered a house, it would be considered a shed, no matter how you word it, would it not?
It would be considered mobile. There would be, I guess if there was a loophole for it, I don't know, because we've got to think outside the box, because
Right.
there's going to be things that will be happening more than likely out there at the Badlands. And you're gonna have things that will take place here within the city.
Mm-hmm.
The variance will play a factor, letting something happen, but, you know, it's highly likely that maybe what Kyle wants to do out there may be something that doesn't have a foundation on it, because that would change the taxation of what he's doing.
But the Badlands, in all reality here, the Badlands is in city limits, so we don't have to worry about them.
It's
We
trailer
need
court.
to worry
The
about
trailer-
city limits.
The trailer court
But
is.
the trailer court will be.
Right, I know the trailer court will be. I like the idea of the foundation, because that means it's more permanent, and that means, sorry, but we need the tax base. That's what we keep fighting for, all these properties to be sold and to be built and everything else. We need tax base.
But is it different because it's considered I don't know what he's gonna change it to, but, or whatever it might be,
Well, it's not residential now.
Yeah.
right, okay,
Yeah,
so,
that's what
so
you
it
have.
doesn't matter, so we're not getting any tax base from
Yeah,
that
right
anyways.
now, we're talking.
Right now, that's zoned, half of it's zoned industrial,
Is it really? I did not know that.
With the trailer court?
which is wrong. Just got plates to fix.
But we're gonna be working on that too, is fixing the zoning issues, correct?
There's a handful
So when are
of
we
them,
going to
that's
be,
not
when are we
industrial.
gonna be discussing and voting on that?
For what?
For the zoning issues that we need to fix on the map?
Oh, whenever you guys are ready, I think we were kind of taking like, small projects at a time, but whenever you guys want to do the cattle call rezone, let us
Should
know.
we do that like after, let's do this and let's do the, sorry,
Go ahead.
the commercial,
Yes.
get that all
The commercial
handled and
storage
then
containers.
let that be the next like big working meeting. We take a look at the map.
I like that.
But what do you think? Sorry.
May I, just because we have, other jurisdictions that we've done this in, is I would recommend doing that after you are confident that you have enough runway left in your budget. Quite frankly, to get to the end of the year, because it's expensive, because you gotta send out so many certified mailings.
Oh.
And I mean, not even our fees per se, but people object, even though it's ultimately fixing things that'll make it easier for them to get a mortgage or get loans or refi their houses, things like that, especially if they're zoned incorrectly. Because that's a recent change. We have to demonstrate that you have the correct zoning.
Right.
And so if it's not a problem for them now, it's going to be a problem for the next owner
Right.
somewhere down the line. But you have to give notice. You have to publish notice in the paper, and then everybody gets a certified letter too. And I mean, we had one where we were doing, quite a few of them, but just the postage costs were like $800.
Okay, so what, I wonder if we have that in our, do we have a budget for this? We don't have a budget for this board, do we?
I'm just saying, like, you might just, because it is a particularly expensive project, you might greenlight that expense
With the council.
before we go down this path.
Okay,
I can bring that up at the city council
that would
meeting.
be awesome.
So that's something that we
Yeah.
could talk about
Yes.
that we're working on.
The one thing that we do have though, Eric, is there's no more mobile homes that can be brought in, correct?
There is a technical loophole for that.
Gosh.
Okay, so what is it?
The technical loophole is some of these mobile home manufacturers, they are considered modular housing, which does not fall under that same category at all. And the manufacturer can prove that. Once the manufacturer proves that it is a modular home, then you can't oust it. If it
What's the
fits
difference between a
700
modular home?
Well, always used to be a mobile home, of course, axles, steel frame, the whole 9 yards. Well, they've gotten very creative with everything that they do at government level
Okay.
and how the verbiage is on everything. So when it's erected, when it's brought into the site, if they drop the axles off of it and this home ends up being, let's call it 14 by 60, well, it is no longer considered a mobile home. It is considered a modular home because it's placed in there, the
Got it.
axles are removed. It's a totally, like I said, it's basically changing words to make it work, but it does
Is
work.
that something that, I know like Warren County completely took out where there's no, like they can't have any, right?
Mobile
No,
homes?
no mobile homes, nothing, right? No trailers, you cannot live in a
I
trailer.
thought the mobile homes you can, they have to be, you can't place one under 10 years old in Warren
I
County.
There's
don't-
an age limit, and then
Yeah, there's an age limit.
there's some pretty strict regulations. We have a lot more people trying to live in RVs that are not hooked up to septic
Yeah.
or water, for example, and that is not safe
Yeah.
after a certain point. We're working on that. So that's kind of this harsher restriction is the use of RVs as permanent residences.
So that's where like the 20-foot
Mhm.
falls into place because now you can't bring in a 12-foot.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got one that is currently in town now that is fairly new up on Avenue 6, and I had no other choice than to approve it because it met all the criteria. It was 720 square feet, and it was a modular home. It was not a mobile home.
So your hands were basically tied at
Yeah,
that point.
and I fought it at first, and then the manufacturer of the company, they were like, hey, I can show you where in the state of Indiana, this is considered a modular home, this is not, a mobile home.
Was it sitting on foundation?
So then Judd played a little bit of a part in on it when we had a discussion, and you basically, you had to let it fly.
Is that a dumb question? But is it sitting on a foundation? Is it
I believe it has I believe it has
Modular
a
homes have
pad under it, yes.
some type of, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that might have been a silly
So
question.
the difference between modular and a mobile home basically is whether or not it has axles and wheels.
Okay.
If it has axles and wheels, it's a
Well,
mobile home. If it
there's
doesn't, it's a
other-
modular.
There's some
But
technicality.
Yeah.
there's other things.
Well, that's the basics.
And they can also say the metal frames removed from the underside of the house. I mean, they've got some loopholes. I
Okay.
don't know how you tighten those up, but
If there's any possibility to maybe, because we know that the next meeting is gonna be a big discussion about it,
Mhm.
I think we could get it in the email prior to that.
What you can and can't do.
Yeah, well, just I mean, what the possibility
What you're gonna actually present.
Yeah. No, I know that, I'm sorry, I know that's a lot of extra work for you. The reason I don't want, like, I want to be able to say, like, for Paula and Kyle and Tom, that they have had ample time to look at it and really,
If we wanna move on it.
yes, I
Right.
guess quickly. I guess I
Yes.
want to make sure that, that they bring, any problems that they might foresee, any other different ideas, ways
And we'll
that,
just tell them, I mean, you can just tell them, please do this because we wanna take action on this.
Yeah.
Whether or not we get to or not.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
plan. So can you do that next week?
she put a time limit on it.
Oh, come on, Cindy.
I'm not putting a
Little
time
humor.
limit. Okay, that's it for that one.
You're more ambitious than I am, but I will see what I can do.
Thank you, thanks.
I don't have anything else besides what we were talking about with the commercial property or whatever else you want to talk about. Oh, this one?
Yes.
You're on it. Look at you. Sorry.
So if it's italicized, it's an addition. So per Judd's notes from last time, I'll caveat everything with that. I added section L to the appearance, and so if located in a business or industrial zone, shall be fenced so as to not be visible if such business or industrial zone abuts a residential, historical, or the downtown district of the city. Such fences shall be at a minimum 6 feet tall, aesthetically pleasing. For example, no chain link fence with slats and opaque so as not to see such shipping containers from outside the fence. And then on B in section 4, I clarified that the 90-day restriction applied to residentially zoned real estate. And that's kind of, so it's fine if you have non-industrial or commercial properties, but if it butts up against a residential, historical, or the downtown district, then it needs to be fenced so they're not visible.
There
Okay.
needs to be a barrier.
Mhm.
And we were talking the last time that it could be vegetative
Mhm.
barrier. Which I,
Like we talked about, like what Mark has up at the Little Beverage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is pretty.
so I think that's, and I think that,
I
I think
almost
he's done a nice job doing that, and I like the fact of the natural.
I
agree
almost
with you.
like that better because, if they put a 6-foot fence up, how tall are those storage containers anyways? You're gonna see the top of it, right?
They're like 13 foot. Well, the bridges and stuff say 13.8, so they have to be less than that. So 13
Well, that's even up on like the,
on the axles.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's probably
But the ones
10 or
down-
so.
But a
At
lot of
least
them are
10, I
still
would
on
think,
axles.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
the fence will help a lot. I think you have to balance, do you want a 6-foot fence and a little bit of visibility, or, a 14-foot tall fence that looks like a junkyard?
Yeah.
Right,
It
right.
doesn't look
I
good
want
either.
green vegetation.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's
Yeah, the great. If you
14
go,
feet,
yeah.
14 feet tall green vegetation.
That's what I want.
Yep. Okay, so do
Providers
we
are
need to
gonna
make
come
a
get you,
motion?
Cindy.
Do we need to make a motion to send this to the city council then?
Are you guys satisfied with that suggestion?
The only thing I want to make sure is, was this, when Kyle left with us, was he in agreement with this? I just want to make sure. Was there something, I don't want to,
He will never be in agreement over the commercial. He'll never be in agreement with it. But if he's the only one that was not in agreement, are we gonna hold off on it because he's the only one?
no, not at all. I just I was making sure.
Because he was fighting for the commercial side of everything,
Yes.
where we were looking like, okay, this is an issue, this is a problem that we need to address.
I think we had talked to Paula, like what happened next to Paula, like if there was something
Right.
next to Paula.
Yeah, and she said she didn't care because it would be the other person's property, so she said.
I don't know, do we want, what do you think?
I know you weren't here at the
I
last.
mean,
In terms of vegetation? Or what's the,
Or could it even be mentioned in there to see, because I'm afraid everybody's just gonna put up a 6-foot fence, it's gonna look like crap after 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
And maybe just say, if you want to say fence, including,
There's some really, there's some, I'll go vegetation.
Yeah.
There's some type of tree bush thing that does like grow
and fill us in.
relatively quick.
There's a poplar tree that grows very fast. It is known as the windbreaker or the fence, the greenery fence. If you look up green fences, it'll bring up the poplar tree. They can go 60 to 70 feet tall, and they grow on average 5 to 7 feet per year. And they're very good, hardy tree that will last around 30 to 40 years.
Going
So-
to just slight devil's advocate, I mean, you could say including vegetation, but I can see
Yes.
two problems with putting that in there. First is, I think everybody would agree that we would rather have, an opaque fence that's aesthetically pleasing than a bunch of dead trees if they don't take care of it.
Right, right,
That's gonna look even worse than
exactly,
than no fence.
exactly.
Second is, I don't know for certain whether where your utility lines are. And I'm bringing this up because my husband is in utilities, and this is the thing he just gets on every single time, is that if it gets too tall, it's going to interfere with the utilities, and then they're going to get chopped down, and then it's going to look even
Really bad.
worse than where we were at if to have a bunch of half-chopped trees. Your utility lines might also restrict what you can plant underneath their lines, and that's common as well.
That's true too.
Well, I was just kind of driving around the area, and I was looking like in Lafayette when you went from industrial, and I don't know if they have, but it looks like they do vegetative barriers, that it looks like, oh, you're driving into a neighborhood now. You know what I mean?
Right, and I understand. And if it's done well, it's going to look great. But if it is not done well,
But not everybody does things properly or aesthetically.
At that point, you almost want to, if we decided to go that route, if you wanted to put, if we said that we wanted to put something, it would be almost where we could say, we were being very vague, very specific type of something. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's a part, like to say, you could do one of these, or you could do this type of bush tree, whatever that thing is. I don't know what it's not that big, but it's like this wide, and it's like, it looks like a
cone.
arborvitae.
Is that what it is? And it's really tall. Like they're really pretty. They kind of look evergreenish. I don't know anything about them other than they look really pretty. But I think that would be a good. But I know nothing about.
They grow really fast, and so if they're under a utility,
That would be the problem.
That would be an issue.
Or you just trim it.
Is it considered a tree or a bush? Honestly, I know that sounds dumb. I hope that says it sounds.
Shrub in it.
I don't
I
know.
think technically it's a tree, but also like if I go get my phone, I can go text my husband and ask him for certain for value to know.
I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
I'm fine with everything, but I just want to make sure that we've got that whatever this looks
Do you
like
want to
handled.
put something in there? Shall be fenced so as to not be visible. Such fences shall be a minimum of 6 feet tall, aesthetically pleasing, and opaque, or maybe vegetative, so as not to see. Just do or maybe vegetative.
Yeah.
Just to plant the seed that that's an option.
And if they were to come and ask our
We could
building,
we could make a suggestion.
we could say, hey, these are the type of things.
Maybe we could give them a coupon to take to wherever they're gonna buy them.
I mean, maybe out of
You
the
can get
floor,
on
maybe
Walmart.
out of the floor, we'll give them, some type of.
But you can get the small ones at Walmart like ungodly cheap. Like 24 of them for $25.
That could be the welcoming thing. That could be the city's welcoming gift to,
Here's a planter.
we're gonna start this for you. Oh, I hate to do anything with so many people not here.
I understand wanting to get it done, but I might be a good idea to wait until you have
I think
one or
that's
two
good.
more members.
I think it's a good idea.
Well, then I say we table it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
If it's okay with the commission, I might introduce it to the council at this meeting and not have them pass it, but just have them start
As
reading
an
it.
FYI.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea. Yes, please.
Yes.
Because they like to have the information ahead.
I think it's a great
Nice
idea.
job, nice
I
job.
think 30
Yes.
days should be sufficient to read.
Yes.
Okay.
4 lines, but
Okay, I think that's a good idea. Do you have more copies of this they can have? Okay. You are. She's on it.
You may not have to though.
Oh, I don't need to. I'll keep it. I'm good. I'll put mine right there.
I can go make some coffee.
No,
No,
I
it's
brought.
just-
I think I brought 10.
I'm good. I will keep mine. Okay, so we did talk, you just came in, but we did talk about the minimum. So,
Karen said you did.
yes, she's gonna gather some other information for us.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna try to send it out whenever she has things available to the other members, because we know that they're gonna want some input too, but at least be prepared for the next meeting to say, hey, we do need to take some type of action. We don't know what yet, but
Well,
something.
I think if nothing else, we need the tools in our toolbox to have the ability to say no. And right now, the way it's written, we really don't have the ability to say no. And if you say no, then it can go to the Board of Zoning Appeals and they can deal with it on a case-by-case basis. But the way it is right now, if it meets the square footage requirement, it could be 80 feet long and 5 feet wide.
Are you uncomfortable waiting until the next meeting?
I don't know that it's gonna be a disaster between now and then, but
I mean,
I think
we were
need
hoping to
do
move on it
something.
next.
I think we need to do something sooner
Something.
rather than later, because
Would you be able to be at our next meeting just to share your concern with the whole group?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that though. It's not saying no. It's just saying, hey, let's discuss and dive deeper into it.
should be decided on a case-by-case
Case
basis
basis,
rather
absolutely.
than an absolute, if it meets these specifications, you can do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And-
I think that
and the
makes
way
sense.
it's- The way it's written, if it meets the square footage, you're good to go.
I think that makes sense.
Would you guys mind leaving your copies of the ordinance if I send it to you in an email? Since we're not passing it tonight. I wasn't sure how far we were gonna get, but we can add that, and then I think it would be best to just have at least one or two more members of the commission.
I think so too.
available. Thank you.
There you go.
I've got mine.
I said, we got a copy machine in there, I can make more.
I don't have anything else other than that. Do you have anything? Does anybody else have anything? Anybody else? We also did, so just so you know, we talked about maybe after, well, we talked about the zone, going on our zoning. We need to try to get everything in order, like there's stuff that's like half, what did you say? Part of the trailer park or the trailer court area.
Industrial, it should
It's
be
like
residential.
Industrial should be like that.
The
kind of thing.
residential ones that are commercial should go back to being residential, and commercial that are residential should go back to being commercial, and vice versa.
Ingrid said that's kind of a big undertaking, but it's
There's a
also,
lot of them all over town that
Yeah.
are that way, that need cleaned up.
and we thought about doing that, which we can still go ahead and talk about and get situated to be ready. But she said it could be costly because of the certified mailings that would have to go out. So that to maybe check on our budget or to figure out what that looks like for us right now.
Because if you have, 40 properties that need letters, you're looking at probably $600 just in postage. I want to make sure we're all copacetic with that expenditure
Yeah.
before we get too
Yeah.
deep in the weeds there. And then normally what we do is we just schedule a meeting, have a big cattle call, listen to people yell at us for a couple hours, then figure out which ones we want to fix and which ones are going to stay the same. So,
Well, there's a lot of them right now that are not being used per the zoning.
mhm.
I mean, they're being used for residential when they're zoned commercial. There's a lot of them that way, and they've just been that way forever, and
Mhm.
it just needs cleaned up. And I think most people probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
It sounds kind of scary when you say, hey, we're rezoning your property, but really we're just zoning it correctly. Especially the ones that are residential after the law change. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago where you have to demonstrate correct zoning when you purchase a property now. A lot of them will need to be corrected at some point in time here before their house is marketable. So it's okay. In the long run, it's helping them, but it sounds kind of scary if you're not used to it.
I
So
wasn't aware that passed, but that's good. I mean, at least you'll get them through attrition.
Yeah. So like in Warren County, we do one like every other month kind of thing because it's also on the list to be cleaned up. It's just expensive.
So we said maybe after we had finished like that and these two other things that maybe we would dive into the zoning. We would pull out the map and really look into
Sounds
some of
like
that.
a plan.
That'll take us some time for sure.
And I can't find I can't find where you sent the map out to everybody. Can you resend that to me?
Yeah.
Because you sent the zoning map
Is
to
that the map?
Yeah.
Do it right
Please.
now. Look at him.
Please and thank you.
He's on top of it. Okay, does
Yeah.
anybody else have anything?
Because I know I had it on my phone, I just can't find
That's okay.
where it is on my phone.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, who wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
Oh, I'll second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Okay, meeting's adjourned.
Say end stream on this.
I think it's right there, Ingrid,
The end.
I think, well, the, how to end it, the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I don't know, yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, probably in stream, and then I don't know what this is, my glasses aren't that good.
And